Okay, here is our second monohybrid cross that we're going to practice. So again, we're going to start with our parents, cross them together to make the first generation of kids, analyze them, cross the kids, make the second generation of kids, the grandkids, and then analyze them. So we're still going to use Gregor Mendel's pea plant, so I like to make a key to tell me what I'm dealing with so I can always look back at it and know what I'm doing, know what letters I'm using to represent my traits, and know what's dominant and recessive. So this trait, this characteristic of pea plants is called the pod shape, and you can see the pictures of the pods below. Now when it comes to pod shape, the two alleles or the two forms are called smooth and constricted, the bumpy one. Smooth is dominant to constricted, so I'm going to use S's. So capital for the dominant smooth and lowercase for the recessive constricted or the bumpy one. So we're going to take two individuals, again, that are homozygous. We've got to start out with homozygous individuals. So for the smooth, that's going to be two capitals, so they have two copies of the dominant gene. And for the constricted, it's going to be two lowercase. So again, homozygous, they have two of the same type of gene. They've got two recessives. We're going to put the parents around the Punnett square, and then we're going to fill it in. So again, remember to keep these separate because you don't give the next generation of offspring both copies of a gene. You only give them one copy. So let's put them together in box 2, 3, and 4. So box 1, big S, little s, 2, 3, and 4. And there's our first generation of pea plants, and we'll get those seeds and save them to the next growing season. So to analyze them, big S, little s will be smooth, 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 and smooth. So when it comes to the phenotypes and genotypes, we're now dealing again with 100%. So we've just got to remember which one is going to be a word and which one's going to be a two-letter combination. So the phenotype is the physical expression, it's what you see. And when we look at these pea plants, we don't see a series of letters, we see that they're smooth. So 100% of this generation will be smooth. And then the underlying genes, 100% will be big S, little s. Now again, we can save these seeds and they can self-pollinate. So we just got to plant one and then let it go. So we're going to take big S, little s with big S, little s, put them outside the box, and then let's put them together. So box number 1, two capitals, box 2, big little, box 3, big little, and box 4, two lowercase s's. Now this is our F2 generation. This is where we stop with our crosses, so we're not going to put anybody else together. We're just going to analyze from this point on. So two capitals, so we've got two dominants. Well, it's going to be dominant then. It's going to be smooth. Box 2 and 3, we've got one dominant and one recessive. Well, the dominant dominates the recessive, and those two are going to be smooth. And the last one, box 4, has two recessive. So it will be the recessive constricted or the bumpy. Now to do our analysis further, we've got to look at the numbers. And again, this is the easiest math you're ever going to do. So for the phenotype, box 1, we have smooth, smooth, smooth. That's 25, 50, 75% smooth. And that leaves us with one box, which is 25% constricted. To put that into a ratio, we have 1, 2, 3 boxes that are smooth to 1 constricted. Now for the genes are the underlying letters on your chromosomes. So the first box, we have 1 that is two capital S's, so 1 equals 25%. Box 2 and 3, so that'll be 50%, big S, little s, which is heterozygous. And then box 4, 25%, two lowercase s's. And to translate that into a ratio, two capital S's, there's only one of those. Heterozygous or big S, little s, we have two of those. And two lowercase s's, we have one. So this is your final practice that I'm doing for you, and then I'm going to give you one to do on your own, dealing with animals. A little animal called a wood rat that a lot of people refer to as a pack rat. I have that on Wiser for you to complete, but if you don't have access to Wiser, I will just pull up the problem and you can just work it on your own paper. But I'd like you to see what you could do with these. And then once you have it completed, then we will go over it.